So in this video, I'm going to be looking back at my predicted score lines for this weekend's games, and we're going to go through the games individually. In the opening fixture of the Premier League this season, we saw Man United beat Fulham 1-0 in an unconvincing win at Old Trafford. I actually predicted Fulham to beat them 2-1. It ended up 1-0. It could have finished 2-1. So Saturday's lunchtime 12:30 kickoff was between Ipswich and Liverpool, and it ended 2-0. And my predicted scoreline was 2-0 Liverpool. So I got that bang on. Now, for me, Liverpool wasn't that convincing, specifically in the first half. But you know what? They got big players like Mo Salah and Jota. They turned up in the second half, and Liverpool left there with a win. Now, the next game was Arsenal versus Wolves. I went for a 3-0 Arsenal win. It ended up 2-0. I'll be honest, Arsenal did look good. Saka looks like he's ready for the new season. Yeah, it was a convincing win for me. It was a nice win for Arsenal, and they're setting the standard. I don't think any team throughout this weekend showed that they're really fit or they're raring to go. It is the first game. We can't rush in, but Arsenal do look good at the moment. Now, the next game was Everton versus Brighton, and it ended 3-0. Brighton really surprised me. Like, do you know what? I don't know if it's Brighton actually that surprised me or if it was more of Everton being so poor. I did predict Everton to get relegated this season, so is it really a surprise? But it ended Brighton 3, Everton 0. So the next game on the list was Newcastle beating Southampton 1-0, newly promoted side Southampton. I predicted Newcastle to absolutely pump Southampton at St James's Park, and I predicted 5-0. I still got the win correct, but it was a 1-0 game. It was an interesting game where we had a red card and whatnot. But yeah, there's not much I can take from that game, I'll be honest. Southampton looked like they're ready for the fight. But yeah, it ended Newcastle 1, Southampton 0. Next game on the list, it was Forest versus Bournemouth. I predicted a 3-2 win for Forest. It ended 1-1. I thought Bournemouth were going to struggle a little bit to get goals because they sold Solanke. They've not really replaced that well. Yeah, it ended 1-1. Not much to say about the game. Next on the list, it was West Ham taking on Aston Villa at home. It ended 2-1 to Villa, and I predicted 2-1 Villa. This game was an interesting game. I thought Villa started off very brightly, and then West Ham started coming into the game when they got that penalty and Paqueta put it away. It was an interesting game. I thought it was potentially going to end 1-1 until about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go into the game, and I saw Villa was pushing more. But yeah, I predicted 2-1. I got that spot on. Next game was on Sunday, and it was Brentford versus Crystal Palace. This game surprised me, and I feel like Crystal Palace got robbed. As you can see here, it ended 2-1 Brentford. I actually predicted Palace to beat Brentford 2-0. Like I said, I feel like they got robbed, man. That Eze free kick was a masterclass. It was beautiful, but again, robbed. Officials in this country is shocking. But yeah, Palace start off the season with a L to Brentford. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. Are they missing Olise? It's going to be interesting. Is Eze going to stay? It looks like he will. Is Mark Guehi going to stay? Possibly. But yeah, not a good result for Palace at all if they're trying to push. Now, the next game was my beloved Chelsea versus Man City. And this game was very interesting. And even the aftermath is very interesting. I actually predicted. So the next game was my beloved Chelsea taking on Man City. I predicted a 2-1 Chelsea win. You know, I had to do it. I don't think it was delusional. Watching the game, it was a very interesting game. I felt like we was in the game for the majority of the match. Again, I feel like we need a striker. I don't even feel like everyone knows we need a striker. We were probably a quality striker away, like Osimhen, from possibly at least getting a draw. I feel like a draw would have been a fair result after watching that game. City did what City do. They got it over the line. I don't think they were that impressive. Certain players were impressive, but I don't think as a collective they were that impressive. But yeah, Chelsea, yeah, it's not a good start on paper, but it's a good start on the eyes, I'll say. So yeah, that game ended 2-0. I predicted a 2-1 Chelsea win. And to end things off, it was Tottenham taking on newly promoted side Leicester, and I actually predicted a 3-1 win for Tottenham, but it didn't end that way, did it? It was 1-1. Jamie Vardy came back, and he absolutely tore them a new one. Absolutely. I've missed Jamie Vardy. I don't know about you lot, but I've missed him. Yeah, Tottenham looked interesting. Solanke missed a whole heap of chances. Maddison looks like he's firing off well. But yeah, it ended off 1-1. Leicester are not here to play about. They've got Steve Cooper. They're going to be compact. So yeah, it's interesting. People, give me your thoughts on this week's roundup of games. I'm going to be going live at 9 p.m. Catch me here at 9 p.m. where we will have a panel. If you want to come up to talk about your club or what you saw and what you think about the fixtures, please do. Sometime this week, I will be also creating a new Premier League finish prediction. I might not make no changes, you never know, but a video will be dropped on that. I also will be previewing that game against Servette, Chelsea versus Servette in the Conference League. Bloody hell, I can't believe we're here there. And yeah, man, people, over and out, man. Santana, I'm out. Up the Chelsea.